My name is Damian Davis. I'm the guest curator here at the Sugar Hill Children's Museum of Art and Storytelling, and this is Combinations, our fall exhibition. This idea that you can take two disparate things that seemingly don't have anything to do with each other, don't make sense at all, and just kind of jam them together and see what conversation can spur from that was sort of the inspiration for this show. Combinations offers a unique opportunity for kids to just kind of build the connective tissue themselves between two specific works of art and maybe just allow them to decide what the story is. We're exhibiting 8 different artists. Some of them fall into the category of abstraction, like Altron's Gumby, Yikin Zhu. We have artists that are working in a figurative space, like Elia Alba or Nicole Awai. And then we have some artists that are maybe kind of bucking both of those, or maybe existing in both spaces, like a Tyrone Mitchell or a Forrest Kirk or a Chris Watts.
I have a lot of artists that are playing actually with materials, experimenting with materials. They're able to allow themselves to open up and be free. These artists, I believe, represent an intersection of a lot of different communities. How meaningful it is to be able to bring them together in this space.
I see material as something to communicate with. So if we're talking about found material, I don't just look at the objects as having a particular material, but also having a former use that I kind of feel like I'm continuing that function in another way. There's an element of play and I would say childlike curiosity in terms of what happens if I put this with this. And that's been something that's been, with me for life. It's the child in me.
My primary medium is my imagination that I may use to construct cosmic landscapes that I then present as abstract paintings. My work really thinks about color in various forms of presentation, materially, aesthetically. I think of color as light, think of color as energy, and color as a vehicle to really activate the imagination. To have children come in and see my work, I'm hoping that it inspires them and it kind of broadens their imagination and the way they perceive the world around them. Maybe it takes them to another space or place or time.
When I talk to kids about my work, I want to inspire wonder within the children I'm working with. I've been an arts educator in public schools and universities. I like to show that you can find joy in all the materials around you. So a lot of my works are actually made from recycled and reclaimed materials. So I want to show to the kids that there's ways to work with your environment, no matter where you are and how you're feeling. In my everyday life, I pick up objects or things that could be discarded or detritus, or even things that maybe I hold on to because it's been gifted to me. And I try to see or feel if there's different places in my paintings that these things can belong to. Having my works here in conversation with all the artists here who, in some ways or another share a background that, historically we've been marginalized. And now we're in this conversation, putting our works next to each other, that's really special. And that's a conversation I want to have with the artists, with the space, with the neighborhood, within a location.
I think the major concern in my work is this inextricable connection between the material world and our human narratives. I like the word storytelling in this case because, in a way, there is a story there, but I don't expect that you get exactly the story. I want you to be able to build your own stories with things that are familiar and unfamiliar. You have a room full of artists who really are good at integration of materials, regardless of what the materials might be. So I think really and truly the fearlessness is in how we make things, and that we don't see any boundaries in what what can be art and what can be made into art.
The show is leaning into this spirit of creativity, storytelling, connecting the dots in a way that children are uniquely adept at doing. Maybe bring your kids here and let them just show you how good they are at connecting the dots. They might surprise you.